Hello, everyone. I'm back again with James, and we're doing a financial services Q&A. Hello, James. How are you?
Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Internet. Really well, thank you very much. Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. It's a pleasure. Well, today's question is, and here's the question: should I refix my mortgage now, or should I chance it to stay on a variable rate until interest rates come down, if they do?
Yeah. I wish there was an easy way to answer this question.
There is, you mean
But
there isn't?
yeah, I mean, the short answer could be yes, absolutely. Go for a 2-year fixed rate. But there's a caveat to that, and that is that nobody knows. Nobody, all the look at industry experts, even financial experts say I don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what's going to happen. But what we would advise is if you are somebody who wants certainty over the next 2 years, budgeting certainty to know what costs you're going to be spending out, it could absolutely be a viable option for you. It's always worth getting professional advice on this, finding out exactly where you are, what your income is, what your outgoings are, and someone, if you speak to a broker, mortgage broker, they're going to be able to look at the best deals, but they'll also going to be look at the providers have hit in the news recently who have, brought these fantastic, seemingly fantastic deals out with low interest rates, and people are going, wow, sub 4% and then even lower. But then you look a little bit closer into the small print, you find there are huge fees attached to that. And again, if you want to exit early and change your mind and switch product, there's gigantic exit fees involved there as well. So you need to take all that into consideration and look at what is the total cost of fixing in for 2 years if you decide to do either of those things. But if they're not going to be for you, and you're not going to feel like you want to exit early, and you can find one that the actual application fee is not too high and it gives you that degree of certainty, then absolutely, yeah, it could be worth doing. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. There's talk of another price hike coming, another one final raise, and then possibly then to go down. If that's the position that you think reading in the news is where you think it's going to go, then 2 years would sound a fixed rate would sound like quite an attractive option at this point in time. As always, we'd always recommend sitting down with everything on paper and having a conversation with a professional and just seeing if that is something that would fit where you're at this particular point in time. Because the opposite may also be true. If you're looking at a tracker rate or a variable rate, that's something else that could be. It depends what your attitude to risk is. That's something else that could be viable, and you could be in a better position in 2 years for going that route. It's well worth sitting down and unpacking everything, your position to risk, and finding out what the best way forward is for you. I'm looking forward to 2 years' time to finding out, having conversations with people who are doing this right at this particular moment in time, and seeing where we're going to be, and looking back and thinking, gosh, at least I made the right decision for myself.
I do think that many of these fixed deals are a little bit of an illusion. Something I've highlighted before is they have no choice but to be transparent on application fees. But what they are often not transparent with is exit fees. And a lot of lenders have cynically and, in my opinion, immorally hiked up exit fees, ridiculous amounts. I've seen as much as 7%.
Gosh.
And you don't know what will happen tomorrow, let alone over 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. And if something changes and you need to sell, get out of that deal, to be paying 4, 5, 6, and 7% of your mortgage as a penalty is far too much. So you do need to watch out for these. It never hurts to know what options you have, so that, because as you know, James, the rates change daily, don't they? Every time we speak, things have changed. They've either gone up a bit, down a bit. 2 weeks ago, the best buy to let deal was 3.99, and then I believe somebody came in with something slightly lower, and yet in the last fortnight they've gone up to 4.25 or 4.5. For whatever reason, it's down to the swap rates, which that's a worrying indication, but who knows? But I assume that once somebody has actually spoken to you and you have all their details, you know their position, their income, their details of their credit file, their loan to value, everything, then you can then remotely keep an eye out. And then you can say to them, there's a new product being introduced. I think this would fit for your
Absolutely right.
needs.
Absolutely right. Yeah, coupled to their attitude as well, and what their predictions are for the future. Where they're settling, how long they want to settle there for. That always affects the amount in terms of term that we're looking at. And also, as the whole, people often ask, it's a slightly different question, it's a question for a different video, but people will ask, is it worth paying the fee for a broker? To which I'd always say yes, because a good broker will be able to change and change again and always be able to update you on the lender you're with. There's an even better rate. And a good broker should save you way in excess of what you've paid in terms of a fee for them to do that work. And I'd also add, reduce their rates as you go forward with them if you keep that relationship ongoing. But again, that's probably another topic for another video. But yeah, absolutely, it's well worth sitting down and having that conversation.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I think we've got a whole list of questions here, but I think we can only really cover one each time. Otherwise, we would go on forever. And we do tend to do that, so I do apologize, but we're actually really enthusiastic about this stuff. So that's why we can talk until the cows come home. But we are on a limit, so that will do for this video. Once again, as always, if you have any questions on anything to do with mortgaging and remortgaging, feel free to contact James directly, james@trellos.com, or you can message me and I can put you in touch with James, whatever works for you. And thank you very much for watching. James, thank you for joining me once again.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you, Anthony.
And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.